Have you ever brought your magic to Walt Disney World like, hey, we came to play? Did you tip your tiara to a Creole princess or get goofy officially? When we come through, it's true magic, because we came to play at Walt Disney World Resort.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a Realtor can help answer. Because Realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what Realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Today is the day you will lose fat. Come see Dr. T at NJ Diet.
Easiest diet I've ever done. It's changed my life. Come see Dr. T.
Using blood work and DNA testing. 1-855-5NJ-DIET and NJDiet.com. Change your life in only 40 days with NJ Diet. OG.
Make some noise!
These next two artists are legends and really don't need an introduction, so I'll just go to saying it. Grandmaster Caz and Grandmaster Melle Mel. Welcome to the library with Tim Einenkel.
All right. Thanks,
Yay.
Tim.
Cool. So
Whoa.
I know I just said I don't want to ask the same questions, but I do want to ask, when you first, I know you probably have answered this, but when you first got interested in the hip-hop culture, you experienced it, what was becoming hip-hop culture, what purpose did you want to get out of it?
Just to have a good time, meet girls, because it was like the party scene. So, you go to the party, dance, and, meet girls. It was, just nothing real important, just having a good time.
For me, it was a matter of stature. You know what I mean? It was a identifier. It's what you do. What are you? What do you do? What are you good at? Like, what do you bring to the table? And it was all that for me. You know what I mean? It became kind of like this. There's an inside me and there's an outside me, and I needed that outside me because the inside me is a little more laid back and reserved and even a little shy. You know what I mean? So I needed hip hop to be that, that boisterous character, that one that, is not afraid to speak to people or speak in front of people or anything like that. So that's what I got out of it. I got out of, like a suit of armor somewhat.
I know you guys known each other for a long time, but for you, Caz, what was the first time you heard Mel spit a rhyme, and kind of what was your immediate reaction? Then Mel, same question. When was the first time you heard Caz spit a rhyme? What was that immediate reaction?
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the first exact time that I heard, but when I heard it, it just stood for something. Like for me, it was now that's what this is. Now that it was a definitive for me when I heard his voice. I'm like, now that's how you're supposed to sound. That's how an MC is supposed to sound. And he became kind of like a blueprint for me. You know what I mean? Back in the days, him personally and the group became like my blueprint for that's how this shit is supposed to be done. You know what I mean? You do it like that and better. You know what I mean? If you can. But, when I heard his voice and what he said and how he said it, I was like, nah, that's that dude. That's who I gotta be better than or as good as.
Mel, same question.
Well, we was kind of cocky, so when I first heard it, I was like, man, fuck these niggas.
Right.
The fuck this? Who the fuck?
I mean, these guys. You could say these guys had stripes before.
Yeah, because we was crazy. Our street cred was up. We was a little more established. You know what I mean? Like he was a DJ, and they was doing their thing. Like a little after, but our thing was more established. So we was like, "What the fuck is this?
Nah, but I grew on them.
See.
Well, yeah. When did that happen? When did you realize? All right,
I mean, like a lot of years later, like the first one from his group, the first out of any group that because back then we didn't really socialize with each other. It was like an unwritten rule. Nobody really socialized with each other. We had our own thing that we was doing. But me and JDL got cool, and we used to have to sneak off, like Caz couldn't see JDL talking with me, or my crew couldn't see me talking with JDL, so we sneak off and drink and get high, you know what I mean? But years later, just being around Caz, and then as he, just as he started, just noticing a guy rapping, and then the skills he had, and then that was the bond, because like if you put everybody in a room, and everybody had good skills, but me and Caz would be the last one standing. Like we could just rhyme. That was when my memory was good. Right now, I remember 2 rhymes and 1 phone number.
I think when you talk to people, you read interviews about and artists like Harris One, Big Daddy Kane, and they talk about you two a lot, and they talk about how like you are the architect of them. Their rhyming skills, their rhyming patterns, to content as well. You obviously were the first ones to do it. Or you were the architect. What were you listening to that made you say, I want to be different and rhyme this way? I want to have lyricism. I want to tell a story.
Well, basically, my first, the first inspiration was Herc, and not necessarily only Herc, because like a lot of times, the whole narrative that we told from the beginning is like DJ Kool Herc was the first inspiration, but actually he had a crew. That was the part that we never really told. It was Kool Herc, Clark Kent, and Timmy Tim. And Timmy Tim was he was the one that I really liked from Herc's crew. Had a smooth voice, and that was my original inspiration. Like as far as and then just having just a rap skill, that was just an evolution of just something, me trying to rhyme, and then me trying to rhyme about rhyming, and then me trying to rhyme about something else other than rhyming, and it just evolved on its own. But my original inspiration was actually the guy Timmy Tim from Herc's crew.
Another game changer you talk about is obviously. People talk about Rakim being a game changer as well. I think DMC said during an interview that they heard him and they all wanted to retire after that. What was your guys' first impressions when you heard Rakim?
When I first heard Rakim, I was utterly impressed that he was so laid back and so melodic, and he sounded like a jazz voice over a hip hop track. As the records became more, I'm like, recognize this guy. It's like I got a kinship. Like, here's one of us. He's one of us, man. You know what I mean? Finally, somebody came along that added something to the game that's on par. So I was very impressed. And also the fact that was at a time when pretty much the first generation's hip-hop was pretty much over with. You know what I mean? There were no more groups, no Furious Fives, Go Crush Fours, and this and that, all the, routines and stuff all were gone, and people were all trying to make records and stuff by then. So that showmanship and that era of hip-hop was gone by then.
Yeah, when I first heard Rakim, I mean, and even to this day, and I'm not in putting us in the conversation, because for me, I sit us to the side, and then it's everybody else. So the second tier, the third tier guys. Rakim is really the only truly great guy, because he's the only guy even to this day that I had to change my style of rap. Even after Eminem or whoever it is, whoever came out, even right now, the only guy that I had to really say, we got to go back to the drawing board and find a different way of doing it is when I heard Rakim. So it's like, how everybody yell, the greatest, and it's 50. I don't believe if you believe it's 50 great guys, obviously you ain't one of them. But I think if you had a truly, like, not to spread, greatness around frivolously, Rakim is, he's probably be the greatest. He's the one great MC, truly great, because he could have did it back then. He could still do it now. You know what I mean? Like a lot of rappers that they say is great, they wouldn't last back then. Somebody would slap the shit out of them. You know what I mean? But Rakim, he was a textbook rapper, making rhymes, saying rhymes about how good he could rhyme. But then the way he did it, his syncopation and his delivery is like he made everybody, like you had to step your game up. Oh,
it's interesting for me when you as rap music has grown. Obviously, it's now the most popular genre out there. You have a generation of people that their influence is rap. Like you guys grew up, your influence wasn't rap; it was a lot of other genre of music, and even Rakim as well. A lot of other genre of music. How important is other music for an artist, for especially a hip hop artist? How important is it for them to know it or be influenced by it versus just being influenced by a fellow rapper?
It's of utmost importance that you know more music than hip hop music, because hip hop music comes from other musics. That's what hip hop is about. It takes and borrows from things that already exist. So the music that we heard when we were young, the music we danced to, we just cut out pieces of it and reused it again. So when you use somebody's rap song, that's the song done like 3 times over, because more than likely that song is taken from another song. There's a sample of a song that was popular back in the days. And that was really, the whole thing about hip hop, man. That music, those records, those songs, that they provided the foundation for the music that we call hip hop. So if you don't have that, then you get hip hop for 4th, 5th generation. You're getting your examples from somebody's example. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's important that you know music beyond hip hop music, because that's where hip hop music comes from.
Right. That's the history of the thing. It's like, and that's why, like with a lot of young people. And like we was up in K Slate studio the other day, and the girl, she's like 20. So, do y'all rap? And that's the dumbest, it's like after a while, it's like, bitch, could you please sit the fuck down? Because it's not ancient history. Right. You see what I'm saying? So if you listen to hip hop, then and you listen, because like you said, hip hop music comes from all kind of different music. So if you listen to hip hop, then you should listen to other music, and you should know the history of the music. Not only hip hop music, but just music in general, because see that's the thing that's the first thing that made the world smaller. You know what I mean? It is through music. When somebody wanted to tell the history of a people, they did it with song. So it's important to know that just for your own intellect, not only for the culture. Like if you think you're into hip hop, not only for the culture, but for your own intellect to understand what everybody's different music was and what it's about.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a Realtor can help answer. Because Realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what Realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Just and so good. Thousands of spring deals at your Nordstrom Rack store. Save big today on new arrivals from Kate Spade New York, Nike, Sam Edelman, Free People, and Madewell, starting at only $30. Great brands and great prices on dresses, denim, sandals, designer bags, and more. So rack your look and get first dibs on spring styles you want now from just $30 at your Nordstrom Rack store. What will you find?